So let's start this again. So we've got our source and our sink going from the arrows. We've then got 30, 10, 15, 12. Okay, so we can't do this all in one. We need to look at different pathways. So what you need to do is you need to start, and you always need to look going upwards. So look to see if you can move upwards. So from A, if we're always trying to move upwards, what would be the first pathway we can look at which goes from A to D? A, B, D. Okay, so we're going to look at A, B, D. Now, if we've got 30 in this pathway and 10 in this pathway, how much can we get through in total through that? Luke? 10. Okay, what's the little rule we could think of here? It's always the smallest arc on each one which we can get it through. Okay, so I can get 10 through there. So I write down A, B, D, 10. This is my systematic working. These questions can be worth 5 marks. You must show systematic working, the A, B, D, 10. Now, if I got 10 through this link here, how much is left over? 20. So I cross out the 30 and I put in 20. And that's going to be really important when we get to harder questions. If I put 10 through here, how much space have I got left? 0. So I cross out the 10 and I put in the 0. Alright, so we've looked at that pathway. Are there any other pathways from A to D in this network? Quinton? Perfect, thank you. Okay, so A, C, D. How much can I get through 15 to 12? Yeah? 12. Okay, so I go A, C, D, 12. What else do I need to do? Cross out 15 and make it. And cross out 12 and make it 0. Now, one way to be able to tell that you've actually found the maximum flow is you'll notice there's 2 0 pipes here. It means we've got no more pipes. Like if there's a disconnect between A and D with all 0 pipes, you're not going to be able to get any more water through because there's no space left. Okay, so always have a look for that. So our maximum flow equals 22. Okay? 22, and that's our answer. But all that working on the network is needed. Any questions about that? All right, so quickly, just a few words, and then we'll just go to harder examples of this, okay? So, you need to pick pathways which go from the source to the sink. Always look upwards to ensure you don't accidentally skip a pathway. For each pathway, the smallest arc is how much you can get through. Remember to show working out on the network. In brackets, I'm just going to write the leftover. Okay. which you can use in future pathways. Alright, so the best way to do this is just a practice. So we're going to do 2 more harder ones. Okay? But that's the only writing we're going to do. Sorry, hang on. Sorry. Okay. Alright, this is a pretty big one. So. Better? So usually these things are labelled like A to whatever, from left to right, and then it goes up and down, so that's why it's usually written that way, but it doesn't really matter. Has everyone written that? Right. If you have, I want you to think about the first pathway you're going to do. Thinking about trying to always go upwards first. And then think about what the second pathway you're going to do is. When you finish writing it, could you just put your pens down? I know that some people like to scribble and do things when you finish, but I just need to know that everybody's finished writing it. Cameron? All right. So, first thing, we got, where's the source? H, okay? So that's the first thing you always have to look at this. Okay? Where's the source? Where's the sink? Thanks. Okay. Then, if we always move upwards, what's the first pathway we should look at? H, then F, then B, then A. All right, so we're looking at, I'm just going to highlight it, but you don't need to, please don't highlight it because it's going to confuse you later on. Okay, we're going to look at this pathway here. How much, if we're talking about water, how much water can we get through that pathway? Luke? 5. Now, if I get 5 through that, what does this 25 become? 20. Now, we can still use that 20 there. Okay? What about the 18? What does that become? 13. And what does the 5 become? 0. Good. So we've got water through one pathway. But there's a lot of pathways in this network. So, once again, if we're always trying to go upwards to start with, we'll start with H again. Then where are we going to move to? F. Okay, we can still do F because there's still space there. So we're going to go H, F, then where? Now, if I'm still going upwards, is there space from F to B? Yes. And can I do, and then could I go down afterwards? Yeah, so I'm going to go H, F, B, C, A. Trying to go upwards again. So, in that pathway, how much can I get through? 8. So I write down, cool, I got 8 through. How much is left with 20? 12. How much is left of 13? 5. How much is left of 10? 2. How much is left of 8? 0. All right. Still trying to go upwards. What could I do now? Yep. H, F. There's still 5 there between F and B. Is there anything else I could do there? C, D, A, right? F, B. Now, you still might get the same answer if you do it the other way. I'm just trying to show you, if we always try and look up, can we see all these pathways? Okay? So this time, we're looking at H. That one. Those ones look kind of cool. How much can we get through there? 2. Okay, there's 2 left there. So that becomes 0, 3, 10, 4, and 18. All right. Now, in terms if I still try and go upwards, that F and B, there's 3 space there, but can I actually get it through anywhere? No, because if you have a look, we've got a 0 here. and a 0 here. So it's cut off. That F to B pipeline has 3 space. We're never going to be able to use it. Okay? So we're still going upwards though. There's still space between H and F, isn't there? So, Quinton, where should we go now? H, F, E, C, D, A. Okay? Why didn't we go C, A? Because there's nothing left. Okay? So, don't know what these highlights are going to look. Okay? Through that way. How much can we get through there? We've got 10, 4, 12, 4, and 18. How much can we get through? 4. Okay? So we get 4 through. 10 becomes 6. 4 becomes 0. 12 becomes 8. 4 becomes 0. 18 becomes 14. Notice we've got a few more zeros in here now. Those pipelines are cut off. So, can I use this pipeline from H to E? Now I could. It's got 10, and I could then go E to C. There's 8 there. But once I hit that point where C is, can I move anything? They're all zeros. Can you see that? Everything coming off it. So I can't do anything. I can't go that way. But I could do something else, couldn't I? I could use G, and if I'm always going upwards, I could go H, E, G, D, A. Can you guys see that? H, G, D, A. So 10, 3, 15 and 14. How much can we get through? 3. So we've got 7, 0, 12, 11. Okay, and we've got another 0 there. Cut off. All right, last one. What can we do? H, G, D, A. 8, 12 and 11. How much can we get through? 8. Okay. So what's this one? We can get 8 through. So we've got 0, 4 and 3. Can you guys see how this process goes? That's probably one of the harder ones you'd get. Okay? But you have to do a lot of different pathways. So I haven't finished my answer though. What's my answer? I need to add them all up. What's the answer? Say it again? 30. And then whatever the unit is. Now, how can I tell that this actually is the maximum flow? Good. There's zeros here. There's zeros which cut off around the H, but there's actually more zeros which cut off. It actually goes in a bit of a line like this. You see how there's where that line is, all the zeros, there's zeros, and it means that there's a cut off through the whole thing where it's full. Okay, so you want to look for those zeros. Are there any questions about that? Does everyone think they can have a shot at it? Now, tomorrow's lesson, I'm going to go through this again for all the people who weren't here, and we're just going to keep practicing. But that's it for networks. Okay? So I do have some questions for you to do from your booklet. So could you grab your booklet out, please? And they start easier than that one we just did. Yeah. Yeah. All right, so in your booklet, it's towards the back. So it's actually from your textbook. Page 60, there are notes in page 67. Page 71 to page 72. Questions 1 to 14. Now in tomorrow's lesson, these will be I'm not going to be giving you any more homework. So if you finish this, you can be working on your assignment or your quadratics booklets tomorrow. It's up to you, okay?